Greetings to all of my Geminis. Hi, Geminis. All right, so we are going to get into a general reading for you, okay? And if you've been kind of following the way that I do the other readings and everything, I've just been doing. I just got finished lighting some sage, so you probably see ashes all over the place. It's kind of smoky in here right now. Um, So, Gemini, I'm going to do a general reading for your zodiac sign, okay? Find out who you are, who you really are, okay? And what being in the third house means. You are a Gemini, so that's about cross pollinate. It's about communication. It's about, the way you communicate, the way you listen, the way you speak, the way you hear things, the way you process things, right? Um, Third house, communication. You rule communication. Um, Communicating could be physical, it could be verbal, it could be visual. It's just so many different. It could be written. It could be listening. So it's so many different ways to communicate. All right, and then you're connected, Gemini. You're connected to the fifth chakra, which is the throat chakra. Okay, so if the energy of the throat chakra supports our ability to communicate clearly and truthfully, and then you are connected to masculine energy. So the frequency of the divine masculine supports our active focus and strong side, facilitating our capacity to transform our dreams into form. Okay, and then we're going to read on what the source, the sun, is all about and what that means for you, and the moon, perception, and what that means for you. And then we do have a full moon in Gemini at the end of this month at, I think it's on the 27th of November. So we can even get into that. But one of the many gemstones that's connected to the fifth chakra, meaning the throat chakra, is Topaz. So I'm just going to read a few. I have a few books here that I'll be using. I'll be using the Crystal Healing Card, Chakra, and Universe book. I'll be using Starcodes Astro Oracle book by Heather Roan Robbins, and I'll be using the Sacred Geometry of Relationships Oracle Guidebook. Okay, all right, so let's see what that topaz energy is all about since it corresponds with your throat chakra. Let's see. So, it brings out your capacity of negotiating and being wise in your daily life. It has the power to awaken inner wisdom and purify negative energy. It works better when you have to deal with a lot of people rather than working alone. It helps to effectively communicate one's arguments to others as well as self control. It corresponds with the fifth chakra. Like I said, the color of it is blue or possibly like aquamarine or something. Okay, the energy with the topaz, um, and I like to call them minerals, but most people like are refer to them as gemstones, but they're really minerals. Um, okay. It maximizes inspiration to help you make wise decisions, but too much of it can lead to one-sided communication and depression. Application in life, or where you should put it. It is good to use it as a ring on the fourth finger, meaning your ring finger, or place a crystal gloss or pyramid in the bedroom. Okay. So that's to kind of help with clarity in relationships, how you speak with someone, how you listen, how they communicate with you, negotiating things like that, to bring wisdom into a situation and purify the negative energy things. So yeah, and it like helps with self control and help you communicate your point of view. All right, so Gemini, let's get into this cross pollinate. Let's see what this is all about. Let's see who you are. Who are you, Gemini? You're the twins, right? Okay, so with its symbol of a pair of twins conversing, Gemini asks us to weave a web of connections and build networks with humor and all forms of communication. This mutable air sign is ruled by Mercury and is connected to the lungs, shoulders, hands, and nerves. Gemini's purpose is to disperse ideas like milk thistles on the spring winds, cross pollinate ideas like bees buzzing over the flowers. The sun shines here May the 21st through June the 21st. So, the action with you, Gemini, words are at the heart of the issue you are facing, and not just any words, but real dialogue. If you feel tension in the situation, see what is blocking the lines of communication and open that aperture. Listen to the grapevine and cross pollinate. Gather and share information. Bits of truth may float in on gossip. Explore social media, sound bites, and any other way to get the word out. Talk to people as if they are your siblings, true equals. If something is bothering you, find a place to unpack it, get it on the table, and take a good look. Then talk it over in depth with a friend or therapist, or write in your journal. Trust the process of self expression to get help to, I'm sorry, self expression to help get to the root of the problem. However, assume anything you say will be repeated. Gemini scatters seeds, is not concerned with privacy or individuality, and is not necessarily loyal. So, the challenge, Gemini, with you is the situation may be more complex than you think. So, be willing to dig in. Gemini energy can be shallow or oversimplified, as it encourages breadth rather than depth. So, you have to add the depth consciously. The gift with you, Gemini, is Gemini's gift is an open mind and a sense of universal siblinghood. We are all in this together. The soul knows how to find itself back in equilibrium if we just let all parts communicate. Help the unexpressed feelings, persons, and elements within the community be heard. So, Gemini, like, the challenge with you is it says it's like the communication, the situation, some situations can be more complex and than what you see, so you have to be willing to dig a little deeper. um Maybe it's like you can simplify things that really should that are not simple, or you can pass it off like it really doesn't matter when it really does. And when it requires for you to go deeper and you just kind of want to remain at the surface, like have surface conversations, because deeper conversations may bother you, but this is how you work through your conscious in life, having those deep understanding conversations. Um, the good thing about you is you want to work together with people. You enjoy sisterhood, brotherhood, siblinghood, just people working together, having good connections. You enjoy those things. You love having, that understanding between you and other people. And um but this is also you being under this you understanding that if someone, just because you and everyone are in a group, if one person in a group tell you something, it's not something you should always go back and repeat to someone else that's in the group, because maybe that person in the group only look at you as the person who they want to tell that thing to. You're the person who they can trust. And then if that trust is betrayed because you carry it to someone else, then it's hard to regain that trust, even if you weren't doing it with ill will. So this is, that's where that cross pollinate comes in, at wanting everybody to, oh, let's just unite, let's all talk it out. But then some people want to come to you and talk to you, but they just want to talk to you and you keep it to yourself. And if in certain things with you, you're going to have to be able to express yourself. And if you don't have a good friend to express it with, then talk to a therapist or write it down in a journal. But communication, since you rule that, it's very important for you to be able to communicate how you feel. Um, all right. And not just on a shallow level, but like on a very deep level. Okay. All right. And then you rule the third house, communication. If your chart were a village map, the third house would represent your local neighborhood, primary school, or corner pub. It symbolizes how you learn, communicate, and move around your familiar world based on your sibling like relationships and the people in your local environment. Check, so the action with this third house, Gemini, is check the lines of communication and your thinking process. First, repair any actual technical glitches, loose wires, computer, or phone problems. Then take this metaphor a step further and look at how your messages are sent and received. Make sure you understand what is intended in a letter or email you received. Ask other people what they heard and say in an exchange. When in doubt, ask for more communication and repair any miscommunication. Then take this metaphor in house and look within. Notice the quality of your thinking repairs glitches, stretch your mental muscle, and improve the quality of your communications. You may need to learn new ways to express yourself so others hear your true intentions. Think about how you learned to communicate growing up through your relationships with siblings or sibling like friends, your early school experiences as well. Investigate how those early relationships formed mental habits that affect the present moment. You may need to get out of your head and get a fresh perspective. Observe and test your assumptions. Check for confirmation bias, the tendency to believe anything that supports your opinions, and reject new information that challenges your worldview. Read a spiritual text or ponder a metaphysical concept and let it stretch your mind. Check in with siblings and sibling like friends. Look for any shadow of rivalry and see if you can switch it to mutual encouragement where all win. It's up to you to reframe this dynamic. The challenge with the third house is chatter is not the same as communicating. Sibling or sibling like rivalry can challenge you to grow in small doses, but don't let it distract you from your self direction. Stay on target. The gift with the third house is we all are siblings in the eye of spirit. Let that sink in. So, you know what? I'm going to give you my opinion of what that means. Like, we all are siblings in the eye of spirit. Let that sink in. That's like, you know how communication, or how I just said communication can be in so many different ways. So me, I believe that we are all energetic beings, right? So that's just like if someone in your household is feeling some kind of way, you can feel it. You know, if someone, one of your close friends, your professor, your uh classmate, your coworker, your sibling, or somebody, if somebody just isn't feeling right, it's like you can feel that energy because you all have some sort of connection, right? Somebody may be talking about you and then they just pop into your mind. That's because their energy is around your name. So it's like because we're all siblings, it's like there's a spiritual energy that has us all connected, right? We're all connected by spirit in some way. So, this is what you rule. It's like you want to have that beautiful connection, communicate with people. It's just, knowing how to communicate, what to communicate and what not to communicate, you know, reading people's body language, things like that. You communicating on a deeper level. Okay, so let's get into what the fifth chakra means for you, Gemini. And Gemini, when you see this card, the fifth chakra, which represent the throat chakra, your affirmation is, I am expressive. The throat chakra's color is blue, cooling, to pacify the nervous system. This third chakra connects us to the holistic thoughts, generates wisdom, and supports our communication and speech skills. It is driven by the principles of communication and expression. Ether is its element, also known as spirit in the Sanskrit language. And I would say this again, Sanskrit language. Ether describes the non-physical world of vibration and sound. Sounds have a healing, purifying effect on the cellular structure and can harmonize dissonant frequencies. The awareness of language and truth are linked to this chakra. Throat chakra and relationship. Our ability to deeply connect with another person is profoundly dependent on whether we can see, hear, understand, and accept the other, as well as be seen, heard, understood, and accepted in return. No matter how aligned our intentions are, if we are not able to communicate clearly, honestly, and authentically, or if our communication is not received without judgment or prejudice, we won't be able to become closer to another. Being a great communicator includes not just the skill to deliver a message effectively, but also the ability to recognize the kindness that is needed for it to be truly heard and received. Being truthful with one another must start with being truthful with ourselves. That includes acknowledging and loving ourselves for all that we are, the light and attractive parts that are easy to love, as well as our darker and perhaps not so pretty parts that we would rather hide from others and even ourselves. So, the food for thought for you, Gemini, is, do you always express yourself honestly to others? If so, is that easy for you? If not, why? So, a huge part of good communicating is being able to truly hear the other. Are you a good listener? So, those are just some things that, that rules communication, right? It's like just things, oh, sorry about that, that you may just want to kind of, ask yourself, kind of think about. It's easy for us, I think, like when we ask ourselves certain things, it's easy for us to say, yeah, oh, I'm a great listener. I'm a great listener. I had to realize at one time I was a horrible listener. I did not listen well to certain things. I listened to what I had selective hearing. Now I have matured selective hearing where I've learned to sort of block out the negativity. But at one time, I would focus more on, what I just didn't want to hear. And at that time in my life, it was, if I did not really care for the messenger, I really didn't hear the message, right? If I didn't like the messenger or I felt like the messenger was very disrespectful, I didn't hear the message. I've learned to disassociate the message from the messenger because I can dislike you, but that doesn't mean that you're wrong. Okay. So I can dislike you and still hear your message in a way where I can accept it and use it for my own personal growth, my knowledge. Okay. So, anyway, divine masculine. The affirmation with this is, I am divine masculine. In the new energy, we let go of traditional roles, allowing new masculinity and new femininity to arise. Just as the concept of divine feminine is no longer exclusive for women, Divine Masculine is no longer just for men. We all hold both masculine and feminine energy and attributes within us, and both must and both must be fully realized, understood, and expressed. The masculine is active and focused. His nature is to direct and push. He is intrinsically connected to the material. Hold on. The material world, providing security, structure, and reason, and his intrinsic nature is closer to the earthly and physical planes. The new divine masculine is balanced, conscious, sensual, and gentle, able to facilitate the expressions of the divine feminine. He is loving, kind, strong, and independent, yet open to co creation and partnership. The image description of this card, Gemini, is the center square as well as the number 4 and all the straight lines refer to the form based world of physicality that is associated with the masculine. The green indicates our deeply rooted truth. The dark blue refers to the vast universe. The swirling circles in the background represent dimensions and star systems beyond this earth that are at our origin. Divine masculine and relationships. Although we all carry qualities of both the masculine and feminine inside of us, in most relationships, there is one person who predominantly embodies the feminine attributes and one the masculine. The harmony between the two might depend upon one's individual understanding of this inner dual nature as well as the outer roles that each person plays in the relationship. The masculine side can drive things forward and get things done. As he is closely connected to the earthly plane and the physical world, he can offer structure and foundation, something solid in which to anchor. The directed and focused masculine often needs the receptive and flowing feminine to feel inspired and creative. While the masculine excels at action, he needs the feminine to imagine all the possibilities he could manifest into form. So, food for thought with this card is: do you feel the divine masculine can be all of it? Meaning that the divine masculine can be masculine at times and can vibrate in feminine energy when needed, right? Are you in touch with your masculine side? How does it express itself? Think of some things that are considered masculine. How do you feel about those? You know? All right. So, Gemini, then we're going to get into the sun card here. Let's see. And the sun represents the source. It's like what is on the outside, what can be seen, what's in the spotlight, right? Whether it's the good, the bad, and the ugly, whatever, right? Okay, so in your natal chart, the sun symbolizes the core of your personality, your life force, your ego, your consciousness. The sign and aspects of the sun describes how you express that basic vital energy. From our earthly perspective, the sun circles the zodiac once a year, but in truth, the sun is the center point around which the planets revolve. All other bodies in our solar system reflect its light. It is unimaginably huge. A million Earths could fit within. The challenge with the sun card is narcissism is the shadow of the sun's energy. The false belief that I am the center of the universe, you are not. Learn to earn attention and respect rather than demand or expect it. The gift with the sun card is this sunlit moment is an opportunity to let your ego step out of the way, let the sun's light flow through you, and let spirit do the work. Shine wholeheartedly and share the warmth with friends, family, your community, and the world. Make it an offering. Live the truth. I am the center of the universe, and so are you. So this is about you sharing love, sharing communication, sharing the light, in your life. Nothing wrong with you shining, but it's like not overtaking it or being overpowerful, and also not letting people overpower you and outshine you because of their ego. So that can go both ways, Gemini. Okay, and then with the moon here, the moon is about perception. It's about your subconscious, right? The unconscious mind. And I'm gonna read the whole thing. I just read the paragraph and the challenging gift with that. But with the moon, since we do have a moon moving into your into Gemini on the 27th of this month of November, I'm going to read the whole thing for the moon for you. The moon, ruler of Cancer, speaks of the deep inner river of emotions, which motivates you, how you experience and express your feelings, and how you nurture and need nurturance. In your astrology chart, the moon is as important as the sun, even though it's much smaller. By a coincidence of relative size and distance, from our earthly perspective, the sun and the moon, our symbols of consciousness and unconsciousness, appear to be the same size, and this proportion makes eclipses possible. The moon cycles through the zodiac in 27.5 days, changing signs every 2 days and coloring our moods, habits, and behaviors. The action with the moon card is first perceive what unspoken emotional inner calling and patterns drive you. Look to your own moon sign. When you cooperate with your moon's emotional motivation, you'll find it easier to walk in harmony with your path. Next, investigate the needs and wants of those around you. The emotions underneath the surface actually run this show. Those primary drives are expressed through habits and actions, nuances, and expression rather than through words. Look for the underground ocean. It carries the soul's energy. Speak to the insecurities that slow this process. Act in a way that helps others feel nurtured, warmed, and emotionally connected. Make them feel at home. 10. The food, water, the home base. Like the moon, the energy in this situation will wax and wane. So access the current phase and work with those cycles. So Gemini with this means like, how in when I read the cross pollen part, and it was saying like communicating on a surface level but not willing to, like, one of the challenges was communicating on the surface level but not willing to go deeper in communication. This is what that moon is representing. This is like speaking about those emotions that you really don't want to speak about. This is like the moon is about what's hidden under the surface, under the current, the unconsciousness, you know. So this is like really tapping into what you really don't want to tap into, which will make, we're moving into that Scorpio moon too on the 13th, where things could be a little uncomfortable for a while because something has to change in your life, and it could be the way you communicate, how you express yourself, how you receive communication, things like that. But I'll talk about that like as soon as I finish the challenges with this. Challenge, look to feelings rather than logic. This is the challenge with the moon card. Look to feelings rather than logic to move the situation forward. Notice any strange responses to anxiety, touchy personal defenses, nepotism, xenophobia, subjectivity, or insecurity, either in your motivation or in those around you. Tend to the fear that lies underneath these behaviors. So anything that you feel like is, pay attention to why you feel a certain way. Ask yourself that and be real with yourself. Like, that's one of the hardest things I think for people to do. It's so easy for us as all zodiac signs to look out and say, you feel this way, you're thinking this way, you. But when it comes to us really getting to the root cause of why we feel a certain way. That could be hard because then that it may reflect that we have insecurities that have been tapped into that makes us feel uncomfortable. That's what I was just talking about, the uncomfortable feeling when we're us moving into that new Scorpio moon. Um, but communicating that. The gift with the moon card is you are one with the ebb and flow. Watch what sign the moon occupies each day and let the moon teach you about its phases. Align yourself with those tides and make your life easier. Yeah, so understanding the phases of the moon, like how it said the moon moves, it says the moon cycles through the zodiac every 27.5 days, and then it changes signs every 2 days, meaning like it goes through the zodiac signs. It's 12 zodiac signs, and it stays in every zodiac signs for about 2 days before it transitions to the next. Okay, and so this is about you understanding those zodiac signs and understanding the houses that they rule, and where what zodiac signs are in your particular houses, so you'll know what that energy is like and what you need to focus on, how you need to communicate and things like that. It's like a blueprint of who we are. So a lot of times people don't get into astrology, but if you look at it and you start to connect the dots, like the solar system is sort of like a blueprint, to who you are. And so, and it can be very complex, you know. All right, because planets move so often, they retrograde, they then they go direct, and then they're in, like, you have Saturn and Pisces. It's in the first deck in Pisces right now, which rules Neptune, and then that has a lot to do with addictions and illusions and lies and deception and all that kind of stuff. And then it's going to move into the moon energy, second deck in Pisces, which also, right, like we just read on what the moon is, it's like going through some sort of phase, and what's underneath the unconsciousness, dealing with things that can't be seen, things that are under the surface, emotions, communication, root causes of things, trauma, happiness, joy, sexuality, whatever it is. And then it'll move into that Pluto energy, which is about finalizing something. Either you're going to deal with it or it's going to deal with you. So that's why it's important to know, like, the planets and their placements and what's going on with them and things like that, because it really gives you some sort of like instructions on how things are. You can kind of even talk to other people and be like, and you'll start to know the similarities, like certain people going through the certain stuff or feeling a certain way around certain phases. So because we are all energetically connected. All right, so Gemini, we just got out of a last quarter moon in Leo, and that was on the 5th. And that could have had something to do with that, your image and how you felt, things that were being put out in the open. And around that time, it's important to be able to receive constructive feedback, and releasing the fears of being judged. Okay, and not worrying about impressing others so much. You could have been worried about your reputation and all that kind of stuff, but this is about you really focusing on yourself and not really worrying about impressing others so much. And again, being able to receive constructive feedback, and again, that falls under communication, right? And then we have a new moon in Scorpio coming up on November the 13th, and that's a time when something about, like, your desires, what you really desire, is going to come to the surface, what you really want, you being truthful with yourself, not having the shallow relationships in your life, those little shady ones, 1 minute, people only acting like they could do something for you if it's beneficial to them. But if it has something to do with them having a deep connection, a honest, open, raw connection with you, they don't want to have that. They want things to keep being shallow, where they're getting more of the support from you than you are getting from them. So this is about you kind of looking at your relationships in your life right now and really kind of just sorting through them. This is about you putting a plan in place for yourself as well and saying, okay, what do I need to do right now in my life so I can reach this goal? What do I need to cut out? Do I need to speak up more, or do I need to listen more? So it's something around this where I feel like, do I need to, with this cross pollinate? Do I need to, if me and if it's a group of us, if it's four of us in a group, and the second person tell me something, can they trust me, and I don't take what they trusted me with to the fourth person, or if I tell them something, they're not taking something to the first person. So this is about building like those respectful relationships and not having, where there's trust there, and not having like shallow connections, right? Because I feel like around this time, if you really start to focus on things like that, it'll be easier to make that transition of cutting things out of your life, or like putting them to rest. And then that is how your power builds, like I said, that Pluto energy, Pluto rules Scorpio. That's like that energy of transformation, life, death, sex, power, love, all that kind of stuff, contracts, how ruling over other people ruling over you. It's about that. And it's about putting a plan in place where things are fair. When you have control over people, or you have control over their money, or have control over something, are you treating them fair? And if somebody has control over something pertaining to you, are they treating you fair? So this is about you seeing something around that time. Okay. All right. And then being able to put a plan in place so you can kind of, do what you want to do. And then the first quarter moon is moving into Aquarius on November the 20th. Around November the 20th, that is about you really feeling good about yourself, right? Having like that emotional freedom to kind of do what you want to do, how you want to do it, standing up for yourself, understanding yourself on a deeper level. Because when you can understand yourself, you can understand your moods, you can understand why you feel a certain way, why you think a certain way. It makes it easier to even get that constructive feedback, or give it. It makes it easier. You feel more confident, you feel more free. You can kind of like have conversations with people, because Aquarius rules like the calves and the ankles. So that's about like moving, pivoting. When you think about like the ankles, that's like when you use your feet to move from one spot to the other, or turn from one group, or one community to another, or something like that, right? So this is you being able to do that with ease, because you feel good about your own emotions. You've tapped into it, right? Then we're moving into that full moon in Gemini on November the 27th. So Gemini, you rule like the shoulders, the nervous system, the hands, the lungs, the bronchial tubes, things like that. So this is about you being in that energy where you're feeling more open to expressing your emotions at this time, And this is about you, if verbal debates are coming up, or something like that, or there's some sort of like disagreement, or just a conversation that needs to be had. I feel like this is a time when you're more in the energy of remaining balanced. It's like harder to trigger you around this time. You're not letting much get to you. And because I feel like there's something changing with you, as far as like you seeing the truth about how you want things to be, or how you want to communicate, or how you want communication to come into you. So that could even come off as kind of cold if you feel like, somebody's trying to trigger you, and you're like, okay, I'm not even feeding into that. or something like that. Um, yeah, so I feel like around that time, that's how, you're going to kind of really focus on the things that make you feel good. Okay, so Gemini, I was trying to figure out what cards I wanted to use for you. I think I'm going to go ahead and go with these. Okay. And I was looking at those other cards because I was thinking like with the throat chakra. I'll go here with these. Okay. All right. So I'm going to do a tarot reading for you, Geminis. Go ahead and take what applies to you. Leave the rest. Gross watchers, you are welcome here. All of this is time stamp, Gemini. Okay. First card out for you is the Four of Cups here. So with the Four of Cups, that could be a card of sort of like regret, sort of like, or just being disinterested in something because it's like something is being offered to you, but you kind of got your hands crossed here. You're looking at these other three cups. You feel like you have more than enough, so maybe you're bored with the situation, or you just kind of feel like this is something that you don't really want to accept around this time. This is like, looking at like a situation with, if you see this energy here sitting under a tree, it's like they're in deep thought, so they don't even see an opportunity. This could be an opportunity coming in that you're not really seeing right now because you're focused on something else. You're focused in deep thought on something else. You have the Eight of Pentacles here, so I feel like you're going to be really working on a situation. Now the Eight of Pentacles can speak of like a scholarship. It could speak of like some sort of something you're mastering. It could speak of like obtaining a goal, all of your hard work really paying off. That's that. So the Four Cups is Cancer energy, and the Eight of Pentacles is Virgo energy. So those signs could be significant, but I see you really focused on obtaining something, mastering something. You could be working alone a lot so you can get to a goal or something like that. You have the High Priestess as Pisces energy there. So I feel like you're going to use your intuition in a situation here. You're being required to. You're being required to get all the information you need. Look at something on a deeper level. Something could be a mystery to you at this time. And I feel like you're going to keep digging until you figure this out. You're going to trust your intuition with the situation. Then you got the Three of Cups, Four of Cups, Three of Cups. Again, Cancer energy. There may be some sort of celebration around your hard work. Something about like maybe you're being invited to a gathering, a party, or something like that. But it also seems to be like some sort of celebration here. It's like, or someone, this could be two people like raising their glasses up, celebrating you due to your hard work paying off, or you and someone. So it's like a three-way, like, yay, something like that going on. And then you have the King of Swords here. The King of Swords is about structure, honesty, truth, revealing things, saying things in a very blunt, factual way. It could also speak of government. It could speak of military or law enforcement, but it could also, it's something that is, it's about structure. It's about law. It's about, this is like strategizing in a very smart way after you get some information, maybe something. I'm gonna clarify the cards because I feel like if there's a missed opportunity because you're focused on something else, but whatever you're focused on, it's like it has your undivided attention. You're waiting to get some answers or truth or clarity about some level of structure or something like that. Then you have the Fool card here. This Fool card is like that Aries energy of taking a leap of faith, right? Being a little more spontaneous, like feeling like you have everything you need, willing to kind of like, this is like the sun right there, that illumination. Something is being spiritually illuminated, like you see. It's like, this is like having faith in you when no one else does, but you have a loyal companion here, right? It's just like having that loyal companionship. There's somebody kind of rooting you on. And then you have a flower in your hand. So it's like that delicate energy there. And then you have a tower moment. So there's something that, again, that has to break down. Something needs to kind of almost like break down so it can be rebuilt. Something has to change, right? So again, we're moving into that Scorpio energy on the 13th. So it's like a situation in your life. And I feel like a lot of this has to do with communication, or it has to do with um, some level, some sort of change that needs to take place in your life around this time. And so the tower moments can be an upheaval. It's something that has to change so things can be rebuilt, right? It's like, what do I need to do so I can be a better person? What things do I need to let go of? What has been sort of keeping me in this tower moment where I can't even express myself, or where I feel like, it's like trying to get out of a situation at all, like any way you can, right? Um, yeah, so I feel like something is going to change, and you're going to do what you have to do. You're going to figure something out here. Yeah, you have the Seven of Cups here, and it's clarifying this Four of Cups. A lot of emotions, a lot of emotion. And Neptune rules the Seven of Cup energy too. It's like that illusion of everything, just trying to figure things out, all of these options. And this is what I'm saying. It's like you have a lot of options before you. You have the Four of Cups here. You're focusing on Three Cups. You don't even see that option coming in. Then you have seven options right here. You're trying to figure out what's the best, but there could be some sort of procrastination. Um, and it's due to some sort of hallucination. Like, it's something that I feel like you're trying to focus on and see clearly. You want to see the truth about what's in front of you. And I feel like this is like a learning curve or something you're having to go through, because this is an opportunity coming in, that and you're focused on this, and then you have all these opportunities too. So it's like you're going through something. You have the Eight of Pentacles here, and you have the Eight of Wands. So some sort of work that you're doing is going to start moving forward very fast. There could be a change in residency. There could be a change in jobs. There's something is going to start moving forward, and there's going to be a lot of communication back and forth. This could be a change in learning or something like that. I feel like something that you're focusing on. It's a lot of fast moving energy with it. You could be getting through something a lot faster too. Why is the High Priestess here? Yeah, with this Nine of Swords here, this is Gemini energy here. This is like communication, worrying unnecessarily too. So I feel like there with this High Priestess here, this is you getting information, but also letting it overwhelm you, you know? And I feel like in life, when you get information, it's like we all process it differently. But this is you kind of being alone in your head, letting it keep you up, letting it create anxiety. And so this is like you having to put up these swords. So you're not thinking so much about some sort of information or knowledge or something that you're learning. Why is the Three of Cups there? You have the Page of Cups here. So again, it's almost like that Four Cups energy kind of lingering. It's like something keeps being offered to you. There's a cup up here that you're not paying attention to. There's three cups, and you're paying attention to those three cups. You got three cups right here, and here's another cup being offered. So I feel like something is new. There may be some sort of communication that you are not really paying attention to. There's something that I feel like there's something about you just being maybe you're too naive to see the value in something. Let me see. Three of Cups here. So I feel like while you're celebrating or happy about a situation, another offer, something keeps being offered to you. And up here, you've rejected it because you're focusing on the Seven of Cups. Right here, it's like you're celebrating, and then here comes another offer. So, why is this King of Swords here? Nine of Cups. Yeah, there's going to be some sort of honesty or happening. I feel like you're going to mentally, you're going to make some sort of wish come true for yourself. You're going to figure out how you can obtain something. I feel like, because the Nine of Cups can be, some people look at it like a very arrogant energy, because this is a person, if you look, their arms are crossed, and it's kind of like, yeah, see, I knew I was going to get what I wanted. I knew my wishes were going to come true. So it's almost as if with this King of Swords here, it's like some sort of this is why I feel like you shouldn't let things worry you so much in that Nine of Swords energy. Because it's almost like you're going from feeling like you missed an opportunity, and it's putting you into a confusion state, to you working focused on something, and it's moving forward quickly. But then you have this Nine of Swords tower moment, all of this is like something needing to be understood, or it has to change. You have to learn something new. Something has to change for you to rebuild it. That's the only way in life any of us change. Like something happens and then we're like, oh, okay, I learned from that. And then you know how to rebuild from that or something like that. Why is the Fool card there? The Judgment. Yeah, so I feel like with this Judgment card, this is like spiritual judgment. This is like taking, like you really have ancestors rooting you on. And I feel like maybe you've been holding yourself back in some area of your life. Maybe the confidence isn't there. Maybe, I don't know what it is. But this is, with this Fool card, this is like taking that, being a little more spontaneous, being a little more free when you put your, like, whatever it is that, so okay, like how I said, we're moving into the Scorpio energy, right? You know how I just said something has to kind of like, you got to kind of like let it go so you can put a plan into place, like with this King of Swords energy, where you can be more structured to bring about forth some sort of wish or goal or something. So with the Judgment card here, this is you really saying, okay, I trust that whatever I put my mind to, I'm going to be able to manifest it. I'm going to have it. I'm going to get it. And you really do have your angels rooting you on, and your ancestors really like just telling you, okay, you could be a little more free. And, is nothing wrong with being structured, because I feel like you're going to do something and kind of get a wish, something that you've been wishing for to come true for you. But this is a time where you're getting the horn blown, like, okay, now you can be a little bit more free, a little bit more, spontaneous, and do your thing. Okay, so let's see what else. The Devil here and the Knight of Cups. So with this Devil crowning this Tower moment here, there is an energy that I don't know, it could be you and someone else, because you have two energies here, and then you have one big energy here. And this big energy could represent some sort of manipulation that's going on, okay? Somebody who wants to keep these two energies connected to it. So if you notice, there's a chain around both of these energies next, where they could always take this off. And I feel like the longer you and someone stay connected to this energy, look at how they're starting to grow little horns. This energy here already has huge horns. But look how they're starting to grow horns. As long as you stay connected to this manipulative energy, you're going to become more like it, okay? Because this could be the energy of illusions, okay? So this is like somebody manipulating you, keeping you chained to them. And this could be you and another person. There's two energies here that's connected to this huge energy. And so this is like you both seeing that you can break free from something, because the more you stay connected to it, the more you become like it. Okay, so this is you being, this could be your conscious and subconscious. This could be you in an actual physical person or something like that. But it looks like something is kind of changing around this time. Is necessary for it to change because it isn't something that's really good, that's needed in your life. I kind of feel like this is you breaking away from something. Let me clarify the devil card here. The Six of Wands. This is what I'm saying. Yeah. So I almost, because with the Six of Wands, if you read on this card, this is like getting to a goal, accomplishing something, getting a bunch of support, people rooting you on, like you're getting, but there's someone in the background that's secretly jealous. You understand? If you read on this card what it means. And this could be the energy that's in the background. You may have a person who's secretly jealous of you that kind of want to keep a connection with you, I don't know how this three-way connection is working, but it's meant for you to be successful. It's meant for you to ride into your goals and reach your goals in a very good way, but you have someone that's lurking in the background that is presenting themselves as being, they want to have, look at this how big this energy is compared to these two energies. This is somebody who just wants to have all the control because they see that you can be successful. So Gemini, this is a time for, I don't know who that other energy is, because if you see it, there are other energies back here that are truly rooting you on. So there's somebody who's blending in, who's pretending. This is like a jealous energy, a enemy pretending to be a friend. Okay. And so, yeah, somebody who just kind of is not happy about your level of success, or you reaching goals or something. So yeah, why is that Tower moment there? The World card. Wow, something is going to come full circle. Something, the World card is about success and achievements. This is what I'm saying. Sometimes in our lives, when things break down, we look at it like a bad thing, but it's always an opportunity for something new to change, something new to start. So this is what I'm saying. You're going to have some level of success, and someone knows this. Someone knows that you're going to be successful no matter what. Okay. So look, and this card, there's two energies here too. It's like they're getting away from a situation that's crumbling down. And then look at the success here. This is like traveling, the World card, being vulnerable. So don't let anything at this time make you feel like you cannot be successful. You literally have success coming out in your reading, but you just have a secret enemy that is really watching what you're doing. They know that you have so much potential. So they're watching you very heavy. The Knight of Cups is here. An offer is coming in. What is this offer coming? Justice. Fairness is coming to a situation. Balance. Fairness is coming to a situation here. So whoever this is that's in the background, that's being sneaky, trying to manipulate you, trying to blend in with your friends, pretend to be like they're so happy for you, but they're kind of keeping tabs on seeing you be victorious, seeing you get through things, seeing you be successful. They're going to be exposed. Some sort of karmic justice is coming to this situation. Some sort of justice or balance is coming to this situation here. They're going to wind up being exposed. All right. So at this time, Gemini, like anything that you hear, kind of keep it to yourself. I even feel like that because, like I said, with the full moon moving into Gemini, this could even be the person where I saw that may try to say something to trigger you, hoping to pull you into a argument or a debate or something, because secretly they're jealous of you. That's what it is. Yeah, don't give somebody the time nor day. Don't feed into it because you have too many goals that you're reaching and you got people really rooting you on. You got success. You got balance. You have, and whoever this is, karmic justice is coming to the situation. What else? The Hermit card is here. So you're going to be enlightened about something. You're going to see something for what it is. Virgo energy is there. At the bottom of the deck, the Hanged One is here. So this is about you seeing something from something and getting yourself out of a situation in a very unique way. This is you. Maybe you have, there's going to be a time where I feel like you're going to have to kind of step back, and it could be connected to this Tower moment where you have to kind of step back and see how you can get yourself out of sort of like feeling stuck. Okay, and maybe you have to take a moment to kind of reflect and look at things on a deeper level, and use your voice, knowing who you can trust, who you cannot trust, who you can talk to, who you can't talk to, who's listening, you know yeah, so I feel like some of you, or this Hermit could even be connected to you keeping a lot to yourself, right? It doesn't also necessarily have to mean you physically staying away from everyone, but you may just be keeping your words from people, like just because until you get a clear view of um who is really for you. Okay, so you may kind of be stuck, and it's not really stuck, but energetically just trying to see something from a different perspective, so you can kind of move on from it. What's up under that card? The Moon card. Yeah, look at how it's coming out. And what's up under the Moon? The Temperance. You're going to see something. I feel like this is going to be a time where you trust your intuition. You're going to be trusting your intuition when it comes to a situation, because I almost feel like somebody's going to say something where it's going to reveal that maybe they're even, this could be somebody who is literally pretending to be a friend. They are like, this is like a big energy that want to be overseeing every little thing, and it's some, you and someone else is chained together here in this situation. It's like a bond, a connection, something, an addiction is something connected to this. But this energy here is like an illusion. It's like a dark, heavy energy that is just connected to trying to manipulate you because they see you have a lot of victory, so. But I feel like you're really going to figure this out. And around this time, this could be you seeing something. I feel like you're going to have some sort of like enlightenment. The Hermit card could be a mature energy. Where I feel like is this Hangman is more of like, it's not necessarily immature, but it's youthful. But I feel like both of these can represent seeing something. And I feel like this is exactly what it is. You see something from a different perspective, you know. So I feel like you're going to be going through like that learning curve of seeing people for who they really are. People who wear masks. Masks will be coming all falling, all phoniness, fakeness. You're just going to be seeing people for who they are. All right, so that is the end of your reading, Gemini. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Please hit that like, share, and subscribe button, and I will talk with you later.